So here we're going to introduce the 3- and 6-fold rotoinversion operations. The 3-fold rotoinversion would be symbolized as a bar 3, and this fellow would be symbolized as a bar 6. These are a variation on the theme of 3-fold rotation and 6-fold. So for a 3-fold rotational axis, we would have a 120-degree rotation. In this case, we're not going to stop there. We're going to add an inversion after the rotation. And then for the 6-fold, we have a 60-degree rotation. So let's take the 3-fold first, the bar 3, using this very nice diagram in the textbook by Bloss. So here we start with A1, that's our first motif. Our motif is a hand. In this case, it looks to be a left hand. And we're going to rotate this fellow 120 degrees in the counterclockwise direction. Now we don't get this A5 here. That's going to come out later. The A2, what we get after the A1 is only after we both rotate and invert through the inversion point there. And when we do that, then we get A2 over here. Then for the next fellow, we're going to take A2, rotate it 120 degrees. We don't get this guy. The A6 will come out later. We're going to invert it through that inversion point I, and then we get A3 here. If we continue rotating in a counterclockwise direction, we would rotate this fellow again and then end up with the A4. And I'm going to let you guys finish this off. When you look at all of the operations in sum, we'll get all 6 of these motifs, no more and no less. Now, instead of a hand, in crystallography and mineralogy, we are dealing with atoms or molecular clusters. But with the handedness, it's a little bit easier to see how the inversion point I changes the handedness every time we go through that inversion I, we get an enantiomorphic pair. So same concept here with the bar 6. We're going to start with A1, rotate it 360 degrees. Notice that that's going to take us to this blank panel here. That would be where our imaginary hand would take a momentary rest stop, but we're not done. We would invert that fellow through this inversion point here to get A2. And in this case, we're rotating clockwise. So if we rotate clockwise here, we'd come out to this panel that's in front. We would have something that is momentarily in this position, but then would project up through to give us A3. And we can continue that to get all 6 of these motifs. Notice that we get 6 motifs in both of these cases, both the bar 3 and the bar 6, but we generate them in a slightly different way. So in these instruction sets, bar 3 or bar 6, when we give you that kind of instruction, when anybody gives you that kind of instruction, that it means you're going to create these kinds of patterns in this kind of order, whether it's a set of hands or some other kind of motif, or more likely, more commonly in mineralogy and crystallography, atoms or atomic clusters.